So if you could tell me about the different success points of Jazzercise and the key takeaways and then how you plan on passing the torch on.
The exit plan.
The exit plan.
Well, first of all, I guess I would say that it's really about passion about what you do. And if you're able to be passionate about that, then you're able to move through the hard times and the good times. And it's easier to get through the hard times when you have that passion because you're just willing to work hard. So it doesn't matter. Jazzercise really was an evolution. In the 70s, well, I started in 1969 in a dance studio, and those people were taking dance classes, and they really weren't staying. And that was because the class was too hard. So I interviewed a bunch of them, and they said, oh, well, we don't want to be dancers professionally, but we just want to look like a professional dancer. And so I said, okay, good. I have to change what I was doing. You know, you have to, if you want different results, you have to do things differently. So I did that. I changed the program, turned people away from the mirror, made it simple and fun, but based it in jazz dance. And the first class I had 15, and then I had 30, and then I had 60. And, you know, the light bulb went on, and that was my aha moment. So that was the first really beginning of the success. Then we moved, my husband and my daughter and myself, moved after, well, my husband was a television reporter, and after graduation, we both went to Northwestern University. After, graduation, we moved to Southern California. And so that was another time. And so the 70s is really, for Jazzercise, a period of evolution. Things evolved, and that's what I like to say. I never had a business plan. I never had a master plan. I never had to get a loan. The money was always there when I needed it. And so in the 70s, I moved to California, began teaching many classes, lost my voice, lost a lot of weight. It wasn't the best thing to do, 25, 30 classes a week, so I trained people to help me, and that worked. And then they moved on to other parts of the country, and in the 80s, I had maybe 1,200 instructors around the country, and we became a franchise. So the 70s evolved, and then in the 80s, it was a decade of firsts, and there were many things that we did. We were the first fitness program ever to become a franchise. And in fact, I think probably Jazzercise is, if not the first, one of the first companies to ever be a part of the fitness industry, because when I did what I did, there wasn't a fitness industry, you know, and today there is. So I think that was another big success for us. And then in the 80s, I mean, gosh, we were the first program to have gold albums and platinum videos, and the first fitness program to do big fundraisers, and to date we've raised like nearly $30 million for different charities. We were, you know, the first to do large-scale conventions, and it just went on and on and on like that in the 80s, the first to do this and that and whatever. And then the 90s was really a period of rethinking, and we put together business plans that, you know, because in the 80s it was more playing catch-up, because it was so successful that, you know, I had to keep catching up, because, you know, it was difficult to stay ahead of the game. The 90s, we had a little breathing time, and so it was a time to try some new approaches and new business plans, which we did. And we started a rebate program. And actually, there were a couple of years in the whole history of Jazzercise that we didn't make a profit. And one of the years that we weren't profitable, we decided to give money away. And because we knew that would be an investment in the future. And we started the rebate program, which was designed to keep existing instructors because they could make more money. If they got to a certain level, we'd give money back. But it also enticed a lot of new people in because they could see that this was a very solid business and that we invested in our franchisees. Which in the 80s we became a franchise that was one of the first ever, and continued to be that. Rather than I didn't want people to be employees because I wanted them to feel like they own their own business, and especially women. And today we continue to educate women about being business people, and sometimes that's difficult, but we continue to do it because we're powerful. And then now in once we hit the year 2000, it just became a renaissance period for us, and it still is. Every year we've done better than the year before. And last year we hit $100 million in system-wide sales. So that was a big milestone for us.
Yes.
And, no telling where that can go because we have plans for the future. We're investing in corporate-owned Jazzercise fitness centers. We do have quite a few franchisee-owned fitness centers now, but we want to get corporate more involved in that. And the ones that we do have are doing very well, and they're successful. And it's good because then we become a model for the franchisee-owned fitness centers so that they can pattern after us and understand that we've tried it.
Yeah.
We've done it. We don't ask people to do something that we haven't done.
Right.
So, that's a really good thing. My daughter is president of the company, and she is incredible. She's a fabulous instructor and wonderful on stage, but she's also someone that has a great business sense. So I feel very comfortable if I decided to go to Timbuktu tomorrow, she could take over. And she has two beautiful daughters.
Yes.
Who are dancers. And one, they're 10 and 6, but the 10-year-old is just fabulous on the stage, and she's got charisma and stage presence, and she's wonderful. And she's always saying, she calls me Jammy, let's do this routine, And she choreographs things and shows me, try it this way. And the 6-year-old she's more of the business person. She comes to our fitness center and she likes to be behind the desk and scan people in on the computer and do her, numbers and calculator things and all that. So I think that's a great team.
Set.
Yeah, I'm set. We'll just go on forever and ever.
Yeah.
Plus, it's never about one person.
Yeah.
It's about a team, building a really good team. And I have that. I have great people at corporate, but I have great people out in the field as well. So I feel very confident about if I decide to exit, that I can do that with grace and style and, leave a legacy that will be brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too.
Thank you.
Well, you're an inspiration. I just want you to know that. And I love you.
Thank
and
you.
thank you for
Thank
everything.
you.
So, you're welcome.